this man Shakur a whole bunch of questions where I'm sitting there like literally the first minute within the interview, capping already. And I'm like,
I told
why
you.
do
I
y'all let
told you.
Shakur be in these interviews for a whole hour talking? Like, come on. Like, y'all gonna give us content to break down, cook up, chop up, all of that shit.
I told
Like,
you. I told you.
and Danger Project, he did a good interview, but you could tell in the interview that like he don't fuck with Tank in the interview by the questions that he asks. Like, and I don't know, like they Tank ain't never had no back and forth with him necessarily. Now, the only thing about Danger Project, I only watched his interviews when he interviewed the boxers for real. Then sometimes Tarzan White when he say some wild shit or whatever. But I don't typically watch them that much because of last year when they had the interview with Adrian Broner, how they did him in that interview where they basically just showed him drunk the whole interview and all of that shit. I didn't appreciate how they did that interview for real. So that left a real bad taste in my mouth about that interview for real, where like I don't really care too much to watch these guys. But obviously in this particular situation, they interviewing Shakur. Of course, we gotta watch them so we can, cook up all of these lies and contradictions that Shakur Stevenson was doing in this damn interview.
You know what I say, diddy bopping, flip flopping. But I don't think I watched the one with the Danza Project. That was the only one I can stomach of him, because I know that he just lies so much. It's really like, it's sickening. And then if you listen to him talk, he sounds like a mini Bud Crawford. We need to get on the phone. We can work this out.
Man,
Talk about it. Shakur Stevenson, you're not being realistic. And I know there are some Shakur fans that's going to be on my ass, whatever. But let me tell you something, bruh. You do not go from a double undercard to another undercard and think you about to get on the phone with the face of boxing. Who the bleep, bleep, bleep do you think you are? My God, you not him. You can say you him, and maybe around your house, Lyric may treat you that way, as she should, you her man. But my guy, nobody sees you that way but you. Turkey don't see you that
facts.
way. Eddie Hearn don't see you that way. Boxing fans, besides just 7 fans, they don't see you that way. Because if they did, they'd show up and show out for you so you can be on a main event, maybe get some big money and become a pay-per-view star. This is what I can't stand about some of these fans that talk about Tank. Tank ain't all that. He ain't fighting nobody. Well, you know what? I put my money where my mouth is. I go to fights. I buy fights. Y'all don't even cover y'all own fighters' fights. I have to ask y'all, when do Devin fight? Y'all don't even know. Y'all got to look it up. I bet you know when Tank fight. I have to ask you what's going on with Shakur. You won't mention him. You want to talk about Tank. So, I mean, is he my favorite fighter or yours? Because it's
Facts.
ridiculous. It's
Facts.
absolutely ridiculous. And then they wonder why their favorite fighters don't sell. It's because y'all don't support them. If y'all supported y'all favorite fighters as hard as y'all hate on my favorite fighter, maybe, just maybe, they would be a star.
Facts. So one of the questions they asked, they was like, he asked them if Turkey made the fight, and then Shakur went on to say that he was responsible for making the fight, but then he goes on and says that it was hurdles in making the Zapata fight. We know it was hurdles, Shakur. So why are you saying that? Why are you trying to take credit and saying that you was like solely responsible for making the fight? Because that wasn't the case, bro. Eddie Hearn, he was trying to get funding from the zone because Turkey cut your water off. You had to apologize to the man. You had to apologize to Turkey so Turkey can cut the water back on and make this fight happen. Because
Let
you
me tell
wasn't
you.
about to fight at all damn near. You was about to go to purse bid, bro.
Let me tell you something. Eddie is broken in a crack house window, and I don't know why people refuse to talk about this. He borrowed 100, what is it, $1.4 million from the PIF fund, and he's still in the goddamn red. Turkey is
Mm.
I mean, Eddie Hearn is a horrible promoter. He has to do what Turkey says in order to keep his business afloat. And again, Shakur being not what he thinks he is, you think you can buck the system when you want welfare? How dare you pull up to the welfare office in a Lamborghini? You know what I'm saying? Like how you gonna tell? How you gonna call turkey people towel heads? See, the problem is he thought he could go and have turkey's ear like his buddy Terrence, but you don't.
Facts.
And you saw nobody came to your rescue when you started bucking the system. They know better. They stood right in line and
Facts.
act like they ain't even see you acting a damn fool. Do. I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? They left you out there to drown by yourself. Like he got to learn how to read the room better. This young man, and I'm gonna stop calling him a young man
Talk.
because the boy is about 32. When are you gonna understand that you need to be in control of your own destiny? Right now, everybody got Shakur destiny in his hands, but him.
Facts. Facts. And then he went on to compare himself to the greats far as getting hate,
Oh, I hate when he does that. I
like
hate.
Floyd and Bud saying that oh they get hate and I understand why they get hate and I get the same type of hate and everything. Like Shakur, this is the thing, you don't get hated like that, bro. People speak facts about you and you get emotional. You get on Twitter and you be tweeting out 1,000 tweets per night, going back at fans, going at media, a whole bunch of shit, and you sit there and say that you're getting hate. Like you're sitting there responding to all of these guys. Like you're responding to each and every person that says anything negative about you.
You
But
know
you
what?
want to call
That's why his hands is messed up because all that goddamn tweeting. You know what I'm saying? No,
it's nasty.
I don't know. No, you're right. That's 100% nasty work. And that interviewer, to your wife's point, he was asking very biased questions. I feel he took a couple jabs at Tank. You know what I'm saying? I don't know for what reason, but they all
Hmm.
do it, clout chasing and hating. You know what I'm saying? But if we're gonna be honest, then y'all need to start being honest. And he's just not who he thinks he is. And I think that that's Shakur's biggest problem. He's not who he thinks he is, and he admitted like, okay, you're a big star, good for you, blah blah blah, like as if that's nothing. Like, bruh, he's a star, you are not. Like, know your place. The problem that I have with some of these people is they do not do this to Canelo. Whatever Canelo tells you you gonna get it. And you ain't gonna buck the system. You're not gonna do nothing. But for whatever reason, when it's someone that looks like them, like a Al Heyman or a Tank Davis, they feel that they are entitled to some shit that they would not otherwise get. I don't see. I
Facts.
mean, you see, Shakur tried to buck the system with Turkey, and then within 24 hours, he realized, "I sorry, Massa. I sorry." But they don't do that shit with Canelo, yo. I think that's what makes me like mad the most. Like, yo, if Tank offers you this, take it. It's more than you've made in your career to this date. You getting front end money, and Al Heyman gonna let your promoter and everybody else eat the crumbs and give you the fight of the money on the back end. Why are y'all not running over there? I don't understand this. It's simple mathematics to me. Why are y'all not breaking down PBC door? If y'all really thought y'all was like that, if y'all really wanted the money, y'all really wanted the Tank fight, why are y'all not breaking down PBC's door? That's why I don't pay them no mind when they say they want to fight Tank. I don't pay them no mind when they say he's ducking, because if anybody ducking, it's y'all asses. Y'all got plenty of
Facts.
opportunity to make this fight. Now, Keyshawn, maybe not you, and you might be the only one that I feel really would fight Tank. Maybe Keyshawn is not ducking, but Bob Arum done invested too much money thus far to just go ahead and cash you out right now. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's
Facts.
back in your hometown. He's still trying to get some of that money back that he's spending on your ass as is. And he's building you up slowly. So you can continue to holler out Tank name. I doubt if he'll give you that fight. You know what I'm saying? Right away. But as far as Shakur, you can't pay me to believe you really want to fight this man, because what you say and what you do don't match. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe what people
Absolutely.
say. I watch what they do. You can tell me all goddamn day that you want to lose weight, but bitch, if every time I see you, you eating a cheeseburger, you think I'm gonna believe you? Hell no.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I don't like. I believe what people do, because what you do, sometimes you do it unknowingly. You can tell me this, tell me that, but if I'm watching you and I see you doing the complete opposite, I'm gonna go with your actions, because those are your habits. Those are what you're prone to do, even when you think nobody's looking. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can say you want to fight Gervonta Davis, but then you go to Eddie Hearn when Tank has stated publicly several times Eddie Hearn is a snake in a suit and he don't want to deal with him. Why would you go to the one promoter you know he don't want to deal with if you really want to fight? I know that Jay Prince and Al Heyman have history because of Mayweather. When they ran down in Mayweather gym, I guess Mayweather owed him money or some crap like that back in the day. So I get that, but at the end of the day, if they really cared about you and they really wanted what was best for you, they're gonna eat, just not as much as you, as they shouldn't, because they ain't gonna be the ones getting knocked the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? So he can go over there and take a little bit of money. I'll give them up front. Let y'all split it up. These birds on this goddamn breadcrumb, and then let you get back in if they really cared about you. That's what I'm saying. Shakur need to revamp his whole team, man. I don't think they got their hand in his pocket, but they ain't trying to push that boy along. And unfortunately for him, if he don't take control of his own career, he's never going to be the star that he dreams of being. And it is a dream because the damn show ain't reality. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. And then another thing he said, Danger, the dude Danger, he was like, he named his top three, and he was saying that his top three was Shakur, Keyshawn, and Lamar Rhodes. And then Shakur is, he
You know what I'm
said,
saying? More cap. More goddamn cap.
this what caught me though. The man Shakur was like, he says that Lamont only fought once at 135, so he wouldn't put him in, the top three lightweights. But and then he mentioned that him and Lamont is great friends and everything. Well, I'm like, there goes Shakur again, being friendly with all these dudes. You know what I mean, and he was like, yeah, right now it is him, Keyshawn, and Tank. But Shakur kind of insinuated that he went off to talking about Lamont again, like beating Tank, in the rematch. Like I think, like, but then he went on to say like, I do want to be the guy to beat Tank and take his all away from him and shit. But at the same time, he's still saying that he got Lamont Rhodes beating Tank in the rematch, though.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Like,
The contradictions just spew out of this boy's. I don't even think he knows who he is at this point in time. But man, listen, I don't believe a word that comes out that young man's mouth. And I just want him to just for once do what he say he's going to do, because all his moves thus far have been contradictory to the statements that come out of his mouth. And that's all. I just want him, like he said, he was standing on principle with the turkey thing, but then 24 hours later you kowtow and bow down. Like, that's not standing on principle, bruh. That's
yeah,
real
yeah.
life.
He said he stood on principle with the turkey,
Childish.
with
Childish.
turkey, and I was like, bro, how? Because dog, you really went against your whole moral by apologizing to Turkey. If you were standing on principle, you would have never apologized to fucking Turkey. So
Diddy
that was
bopping and
another
flip
lie.
flopping. Diddy bopping and flip flopping all around. And they think we stupid, bro. Like, man, this kid, I don't know what's going on with him. But like I said, until he gets control of his own career, and I don't really think, I mean, up to this date, what are his marquee names on his resume? I was thinking about this the other day. Like, what are his real, like, ring bell names on his resume? I know, you remember they used to talk about the four kings, right? I think it was Devin, Ryan,
Yeah,
Tio, and Tank, right? Shakur was never included in those four kings. Now, he
never.
had the opportunity to when he could have fought Devin. He could have knocked Devin off if he thought he was better than Devin. He could have took the deal. Now, with all due respect, that deal was shit. But I always say sometimes it's just about the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Because even though they disrespected the hell out of you with that deal that they offered you, take it. Take it and whoop his ass for disrespecting you. Plain and simple.
Fact.
Take the opportunity that you got, because then you could have knocked him off and you could have been in that top spot. You know what I'm saying? Right now, the only one that's really fought any of the kings would be Ryan. He fought two of them. Only one left to knock off now is Tio. You know
He
what
the
I'm
only
saying?
like Ryan, the only one that was willing to bet on himself. Shakur, that's the thing. Shakur doesn't want to bet on himself.
And
Like,
remember, I don't know if you remember when Keyshawn and Shakur were in that car and they called Ryan and they was talking all that crap to Ryan. I watched that live and I said to myself, neither one of you niggas is getting in that ring with Ryan. Who do you think you kidding? Who
like,
do you think you are kidding, bro? Y'all, and this was, I think, this was after he fought. Devin, or it might have been after he fought Tank, whatever. But one thing I will say is, even after Tank stopped Ryan, you ain't hear them niggas calling Ryan out. You know how they usually, if somebody gets stopped or beat up, Shakur Low, I can't wait to get in the ring with him. It like want to add to their instead of being the first one to give him one, whatever. But you ain't hear them calling Ryan out. That's what I said. Like, if
Right.
y'all think y'all so big and bad, why don't y'all go fight some of the people that Tank has beaten? Now, Keyshawn did fight Pedraza, although 100 years later in a wheelchair, walking up the steps with a walker. He did fight Pedraza, so we'll do that. But I'm talking about a young lion. You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of y'all getting that ring with Ryan. The only one about to get in the ring with Rolly now was Ryan. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
y'all ain't fought no pit bulls. Ain't none of y'all fought no Frank. Even though I know Shakur was trying to fight Frank, but then Frank ended up fighting Tank. So it's like you still can't call him a duck because he fought Tank. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Absolutely.
neither
Like,
one of y'all are really you and your brother, your fake brother. Either fight each other or put some real names on y'all resumes if y'all want to fight Tank. At least people that would get y'all ready for a style like Tank. You know what I'm saying? Y'all not. Y'all come on, man. Y'all fighting guys that
yeah,
come
he
on my
it
lawn
take
on
like
Tuesday and shit.
like Shakur talk about like he want to be the first. He's capping on wanting to take Tank's first L. Like, and then like he went on the interview talking about he he appreciate having his old, and then he was talking about Jay Prince helping his mentor, and he was talking about his amateur career. Like one thing I noticed about Shakur Stevenson and Wally Moses, I even add him because he do it a lot in his interviews. They talk about the amateurs all the damn time. Like they in the amateurs right now. They talking like they in the amateurs right now when we in the damn pros.
Because that
Like,
was their
bro, this is and
glory days.
it even translates to his fights the way he fights because he still fights like he's still in the damn amateurs,
I said
not
that
knowing that this
too.
is the professionals. That amateur
Man.
shit gonna get you beat in the professional.
Yo, you heard when
It's gonna
when
get
he
you
was and
beat.
and I thought he made like I thought it was interesting that when he said, y'all see that, my defense is great. What do I do in the ring? I make them miss. You notice that nigga ain't say I make them pay. You
The
notice he
man
ain't say that.
said get hit. He said get hit. Like a hit and don't get hit is a way of life to him. Like he said that's a way of life to him. I was like, what the fuck? Why
First
would
of
you say?
all, first of all, this is boxing. Everybody's gonna get hit. I am so sick and tired of people acting like this nigga is a ghost and don't get hit. Padley tagged him pretty good. Padley just ain't had no oomph behind them punches. You know what I'm saying? Because Padley was tagging him. So I don't know what he's talking about. He don't get
This
hit.
this
But
my thing about that whole thing is like we always say, me and you in particular, with Shakur, when it's fire, like a guy like Edwin De Los Santos, he's not going to stand in the pocket and bang.
and he
You
said
know what
he
I'm
stayed in the
saying?
pocket. I
Now
almost fainted. I
if it's
almost
art,
fainted.
yeah, he talk about like this is my thing. I want to see him stand in the pocket and stand on business versus Williams the Pater. I want to see it because the way you did Josh Padley, you in here squinching and all of that shit while you was punching Josh Padley. Both of your hands was hurt in that fight. So when Zapater's in that ring throwing 1,000 punches in this fight, is he gonna stand in the fire the whole time and bang with daggone Zapata? That's what I want to see and I want to know. And I don't see him doing it.
Me either. Me either. And
Like
that's
it's hard for
bothering
me to
me.
really visualize and see him just standing in the pocket the way he did with Josh Padley and fighting with Williams Zapata, especially with those brittle ass, hurt ass hands.
Well, first of all, he's not going to stand in the pocket with anybody that has the potential to put his ass down. Let's be honest. He is only a dog when he's not facing one. That's been his memo from the very beginning. If he think you ain't got nothing to hurt him, oh, he on your ass. Please believe me, he tearing that ass up. But if you got a little
Yeah.
pop on that punch, baby, get ready for the Olympics because that's what it's getting ready to be. You know what I'm saying? He getting ready to run track and field. But I mean, I don't know. And you're right. That fight was a payday. If it happens, what is it, May 31st? If it
Yep.
no, it's
No.
not May 31st, is
July
it?
12th. Yeah,
July
July
12th.
12th.
May 31st is the Charlo fight. Okay. Yeah, July 12th. If that happens, hopefully that will answer a lot of questions that I too have about Shakur. I have questions about his chin. I have questions about his offense because to me he jumps too far out of range to even counter. So
Facts.
I don't see the whole, miss, hit and don't get hit thing. I don't really see how that's working out for him. So we're definitely going to see. We're definitely going to see a lot of questions will be answered in that fight. Now, I don't know what type of tomfoolery they got going on, telling people that Shakur will be considered the main event. If you ain't closing out the show, baby, you ain't the goddamn main event. I don't know what Turkey got going on over there. So, more power to
That's
him.
a whole nother story right there. Like, and then he went on to mention that he got a trick to help his hands, but he's not going to tell anybody. So apparently, he got some way of helping his brittle ass, hurt ass hands, and but he don't want to disclose how he's going to be able to help those brittle ass hands of his.
You know what? If he has this now, why the hell he ain't had it before? You know what I'm saying? Why you ain't have it in the Edward De Los Santos fight? Why? Like, why after Padley you was soaking your hand in a big ass bucket of ice water? Like, stop playing games with me. This is what I be talking about. Like I said, I don't know who they think are stupid people or we don't have long memories or what, but I don't know. He need to really get it together though. That's what I do know. And what
the
else
the
I know?
man the man is on record saying that he won't fight Tank until his hands is 100% healed. And like this is what bothers me with the Shakur fans. Like they don't read between the lines. They never read the room. They never read the room. You got to listen to the context of what he's saying. In that he's saying that I won't fight Tank until my hands is 100% healed. And then his grandfather's on record saying that his hands been hurt his last 7 fights.
But
So
when
your
he
hands ain't gonna never be healed, and they all they doing is getting worse and worse each fight. So it's like you think about it, like if you saying you won't fight Tank until your hands is 100% healed, and when we know right now that your hands is never going to be fucking healed, we might not never get this Tank fight in reality.
This guy is ridiculous. I mean, and you heard him say his hands were fine, and I made sure I did a video on it so I can time and date stamp it because I don't want to hear no more goddamn excuses from this kid, yo. I just don't. And as far as the Tank fight, I didn't care too much about it before, if I'm being honest, but now I want it more than ever because his fans are just getting outrageous. You know what I'm saying? Some of the things that they say are just completely outrageous. You know what I'm saying? So I need them to shut up one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? I don't see it happening, but anything is possible. But if we're being honest, I don't think Shakur has the balls to get in the ring with Tank. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I think he'd rather be like Devin and just clout chase for the rest of his damn career. And then you're going to say, if he retires, that's on both of our legacy. You're making your legacy about this man. You are the one that's hitching your wagon to his star because nigga, if you were not up his ass so much, you'd be on your Benavidez shit. Oh, you know what, Canelo, you don't want to fight me? Well, F you then. I'm gonna go out here and make my own legacy another way. Why are you so concerned about Tank Davis? If
Facts.
he don't fight me and he retire, come on, that's gonna be a stain on both of our legacy. Why is it on yours? Let it be on his. You claim he don't want to fight you, right? So all the blame will be on him. Why would it be on yours unless you know something we don't know? Like you ducked that damn fight.
Facts. Facts. And then they go, he was speaking about Tank on the Tank situation. I wanted to talk about that. He was speaking about the Tank situation on how they started beefing and shit. And this is the second time I've heard him speak about the situation. And he basically did the same thing as he did the first one.